U.S. is moving to block Iran from accessing billions of dollars in funds released as part of a deal to free 5 American prisoners. The agreement comes as the U.S. is scrutinizing Iran's role in backing Hamas and its unprecedented attacks on Israel. And we're going to Elizabeth Schulze now at the White House. Elizabeth, President Biden is expected to speak with the families of missing Americans believed to have been taken by Hamas. What do we know about those conversations? What is the White House at the White House? Elizabeth, President Biden is expected to speak with the families of missing Americans believed to have been taken by Hamas. What do we know about those conversations? What is the White House saying to them at this point?
Hey, Diane. Well, the Biden administration is stressing that it is doing everything possible to try to find and bring those Americans home. A clip from 60 Minutes interview with President Biden was released this morning. And in that interview, the president said he thinks that it is essential for him to speak to the families of those missing Americans, to send a message to the world that the U.S. is taking this as absolutely seriously as possible. But he did acknowledge that not only is it working to bring those Americans home, they have to find those Americans, Diane, and that's something that the administration has acknowledged is not an easy task. We know that Secretary of State Antony Blinken on the ground in Israel has made this a priority. The State Department's Deputy Special Representative for Hostage Affairs is also on the ground with Blinken, but ultimately a lot of questions about not only getting those Americans safe, but figuring out where they are in the first place. Diane.
Elizabeth, how's the White House reacting to Israel's call for Palestinians to leave northern Gaza and the growing humanitarian crisis unfolding there?
What we're seeing so far this morning, Diane, is a reaction that the White House says this is up to the Israeli military. We respect their decisions, and heard White House spokesperson John Kirby say that he expects that the Israeli military will continue to make decisions that are with the rule of law, essentially trying to say they're going to do the right thing here. But there is kind of a growing question for this administration as we see that humanitarian crisis unfold in Gaza, and we see this question of how 1 million people, according to Israel, should try to leave. How is that going to happen? And John Kirby acknowledged that's a tall order. He said it's going to be incredibly difficult to find passageways for those people and to actually find a way for where would they go. You know, the administration also was pressed by ABC News. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was asked, how can we ensure that the civilian toll is minimized as Israel continues to retaliate against Hamas? And the line continues to be that we expect Israel to do the right thing.
Now, the U.S. and Qatar also reached an agreement to prevent Iran from accessing the $6 billion in oil funds. What was behind that decision, and how's Iran reacting?
Right. So remember, those were these $6 billion that were agreed, that were Iranian oil revenue. And the administration, as part of this hostage swap arrangement last month, agreed to let Iran access those funds for humanitarian purposes. And what we've learned from our sources now is that the U.S. and Qatar have basically said that Iran cannot get access to those funds. The Deputy Treasury Secretary told lawmakers that that money is not going anywhere, at least for now. And this, of course, comes while the administration has not made any direct tie between Iran and Hamas's attack on Israel. It has acknowledged that Iran continues to fund Hamas, and so the question of how much direct involvement there was there, and obviously a lot of scrutiny from lawmakers here on the Hill to not make sure that Iran can get access to that money that was frozen. Diane.
All right, ABC's Elizabeth Schulze from the White House. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.